All right, so the first video, I guess, like the first real video that I'm making for this channel is I kind of just want to give a bit of a backstory as to like how long I've been doing this and like what has been happening within me, my history as a content creator as a whole. And this is just gonna be raw off the cuff, nothing really edited. So yeah, I wanted to just take the time to tell you like, yeah, I've been doing this for a bit, but it all started in like 2020, and I'd say like in October 31st I made this video, which is literally just me doing a monologue of what's it called, of a book. I used to study theater and game design back in university, and when I did that, I started this channel out of spite, not gonna lie. So there, like, let me explain actually. So when I was, I want to say a sophomore or junior in college, I had this class called Intro to Theatrical Design, and this was during the pandemic. So my professor didn't allow for like digital projects. They only wanted like physical projects, and so she had this project where we were tasked to make a sculpture around Midsummer's Night Dream. And me being the guy who's studying game design at the time, I was like, wait a sec. This would be fun if I tried this in like a game engine like Unity. And so I learned Unity for like for like 4 hours throughout the week. And then I made the project, and it took me 4 hours to make that project. So I spent a total of 8 hours throughout the week. And I go and present the project, and it ends up being like she completely shitted on it. And it was like the worst feeling I've ever had. And it made me feel so like it made me feel like my major didn't make any sense, which I guess if you think about it, some people would argue it doesn't. But I enjoyed game design and theater because it was all about play. And I think that's what's missing in a lot of people's lives sometimes, is like we forget to play. And that's why I enjoy content creation. And so I made this channel out of spite. Before I used to stream a lot. In 2018, I streamed like a bunch of video games, and I was inspired by a lot of streamers. I was mainly inspired by Offline TV back in the day, and because of them, I decided to just start streaming because I thought, why not? Were my streams good? No, but at some point, I started to realize I needed to make content outside of Twitch because I wasn't getting anywhere, and I wanted viewers. I really did. And I mean, of course, I years ago I took Ludwig's advice about just making content on YouTube, and so I started making content on YouTube. And I wanted to make, but I didn't know what make content to make around. And because of that event happening in college in my intro to theatrical design class, I decided to just start making content about theater and acting and trying to prove to people that like gamers are able to act and stuff like that. And it also fed into this dream of mine that I have, which is I want to have my own production studio one day. And so I am trying my best to make this work with content, and hopefully the skills I learned from content creation, I could be like the next Markiplier overall, and it'd be really fun. I mean, Markiplier is a huge inspiration for me, so I definitely want to like see how far I can go with this. But yeah, I started doing like what's it called? This was a Twitch clip that I did a while ago. This was like a teaser video that I did where I was like reviewing PewDiePie and his acting. And I was like, oh my God, like, I think he has potential and stuff like that. And then I made a full video essay. This was not good. This is very embarrassing. I don't know when I will reveal this video to you guys, but at some point I will. But yeah, I was playing around with Photoshop a lot. I didn't know how to make a good thumbnail, but I was definitely trying. Which, looking back at it, I'm like, holy shit, I came very far. But it's funny because like the style that I've made like with this video, I ended up doing in my future videos, which you'll see later. Then there's this video where I was just trying to chase trends at the time too. I made this video about Dream's content because Dream was popping off at around 2021, of course. And so I made this video talking about why I think his videos were good. This was technically like, if anything, this was like the first ever like Luck Deep Lab video that I made where I was talking about other people's content and why I think it was good. Then this was like this video has a crazy story behind it too. It has 721 views and like 53 comments. I can show you guys the comments actually, because like all these comments were from people who watched Ludwig stream because I donated this video to Ludwig. Essentially, I went on a stream back in 2021 and I sent him a $20 donation with the link telling him like, hey, I made this video for you, it'd be awesome if you watched it. And he was like, and being the guy that he was at the time, who was like dry for content and wanted as much content as he wanted, he was like, yeah, I'm down to watch it. He said I had 2 out of 3 things, which was I had a good title and I had a good thumbnail. The length of the video was bad, and he was not wrong. The video was very long and it was drawn out, probably kind of like this video too. Not expecting a lot of people to watch this video anyways. I don't really care. This is for me personally. So, but yeah, back then it was like really long. It didn't have a point, and I didn't have that much of a structure. I didn't realize how important structure was in a video until years later, which you'll see as I keep going throughout my backlog of content that I made. This is low-key just like a good reminder for like everything that I've done as a content creator, which blows my mind. And then like this was a school project. This was a really fun one, where I kind of just mimicked an argument through a game of chess that I played recently, and it just went back and forth. It was a great project. I actually like this project a lot. And then, bro, I used to be like, I didn't realize. Oh my god, I used to be like some of those content creators who would just like say they're sorry for not coming back, and then I make an apology video and stuff like that, and it's the most useless thing ever. Like apologizing for not making content is actually like so kind of redundant. Again, there are people who care about it and they care about you as a creator, but I think it's so redundant. It's better if you just come back and probably explain it in like a post or something rather than a video. And then afterwards, after this video, I was just like, because like how long did I take of a break? I was in the middle of school at the time, so it was definitely something. I ended up just like, how long was this? This was March 11th, then July 17th. So that was like April, May, June, July. It took me 4 months to make content again, and then it took me another 2 months to actually like edit some stuff and post some stuff, which is really funny. I made this video. I made these like RP videos. I used to be really into GTRP in 2021. I used to watch like a ton of Buddha and Anthony Z. If you guys know who those guys are, it was mostly because I used to watch Hassan play GTRP, and yeah, this was like way before like way before when he really blew up. And I think like because of him, I got obsessed with it and then started watching a bunch of RP streamers. And I had a GTRP phase. These videos were like literally, I spent all this time like applying and putting on the like buying the membership to join the NoPixel whitelist. If you know NoPixel is like a pretty big deal because it's like a really hard server to get into because there's so many content creators in there. I just happened to be like lucky enough because I think I want to say, oh man, I think it was 5 times. 5 times I tried to apply to NoPixel, and then they let me in on the 5th try. This was before public servers were even a thing, so that was funny. And then this J Schled Chips tier list was this was just me again chasing trends, which is like the biggest piece of advice I will give you is to not chase trends, because it kind of breaks how you feel about content creation. You feel like you're kind of like not doing enough because you're chasing these trends. It's more important to focus on making content that you enjoy at the end of the day. And if it is a trend that you enjoy, then by all means do it. But don't do something that just that you feel like you're doing it just for the trend, you're doing it just for the views, but it doesn't really amount to anything. People don't really care about that stuff, right? But I enjoyed making this video because I had my own opinions on chips at the time, and Jay Schlatt was cooking with his tier list videos. It's funny because like I think I met someone random because of this. Like they DM me on Discord, and we became friends for like a little bit. But then like he and I stopped talking. I didn't even check in on him afterwards. Apparently, he has a family now, which is awesome. But other than that, I don't talk to the guy anymore. But that's like an interesting story of mine. Then this was a video that I made where I was like talking about how I fell in love with acting. I used to be like in high school, I got into theater, and because of theater, it made me realize like how much I love to entertain people, and I think that was like the spark that started this entire like journey of mine to become a content creator. And I just remember vividly like the first time I went on stage and seeing how I performed on stage. Like I used to do musicals in high school, and I ended up just like, what's it called? Uh, like performing and seeing the lights, seeing the people there, enjoying the performance, which was awesome. And it warmed my heart. And it's like the reason why I am here today, because I love performing, I love acting, and I love doing this stuff, you know? And so I ended up just like, bro, what was this video? Oh my god, I don't understand this video. How I was taking control of in higher low. I think it was literally just me like role playing all the different things that I would get in higher or lower, and I would have to role play it each time. Oh, fuck, it was such a strange idea. Even now, looking back at it, I think it was so goofy. But you know what? So be it. And then. What's it called? Then this is where things really started to get interesting, because I created this character called the director, and because I was still like really gung ho on trying to like make this gaming and theater thing a thing, because after feeling like I was just like disrespected by my professor like years ago, I started making these skits, these little skits of me doing these impressions of different streamers or YouTubers that I enjoyed at the time. I made one of Ludwig, a Jacksepticeye. I literally learned how to do an Irish accent. That one was really fun. I think I would love to do more accent stuff. That would be cool. I did this Disguised Toast one. This was probably like actually one of my favorite thumbnails, unironically. It is low-key one of my favorites. Even though it like didn't get that many views, it's still like one of my favorite thumbnails. And then yeah, like Leslie, Peter Park, if you know who these guys are. This was like, yeah, this was also before A/B testing, so I didn't have like a lot to like what's it called? How do I say it? I didn't have a lot to do with like changing thumbnails and stuff like that. So all the thumbnails you got were just the thumbnails you got. This one is also one of my favorite skits. This was fun for whatever reason, and I enjoyed it. Wait, I didn't even check the comments on this. Ludwig's impression is on point. Yeah, that was like ages ago, man. Holy shit. But yeah, I had a lot of fun doing these skits. Were they good? Did they actually help me grow the channel? Not really. Actually, well, the Ludwig video, this video over here got me, how many subscribers did it get me? 4? I thought it would get me more. What video? Oh, okay, yeah. All right. We'll get to that point later. But yeah, I did a bunch of skits and on my favorite YouTubers for a bit, and so then I stopped doing those skits because I realized people were kind of confused, and this character that I created, the director, was definitely like there, but no one really understood who he was. But I really want to introduce him into like one of my videos at some point, and he is definitely like one of my favorite characters, and is a character that I deeply want to make a TV show around one day. And how do I say this? Like, yeah, I've been like working on a story, rewriting it in my spare time, and going from here like back and forth here and there, you know. And so I ended up just like shelving the series for a bit, but I never shelved the director. So at some point he'll probably show up on the main channel. I just don't know when. but we'll see. And then I started doing Minecraft stuff for whatever reason. I created a stupid, like, this was when Minecraft speedrunning was popular. It now is again because of MCSR. If you know, you know. But I made this stupid speed run where I was like, okay, I'm gonna put a villager in a boat, and then I build a stage, and then I perform a monologue in front of the villager. And because of that, and then once I finish the monologue, that's the end of the speed run, which is actually kind of a goofy video now that I think about it. I'm kind of glad that I made it though. What comment was on this? Oh, that was just me telling people to like and subscribe. Oh my god, that sucks. And then this video is just cursed. I just said smash or pass all 756 plus blocks in Minecraft, which there are probably thousands more now. I was inspired by Markiplier doing his smash or pass on every Pokemon. And because of that, I thought it was like, oh, it'd be funny to do that with Minecraft. It was editing this video was hell, low key hell, because I had to like constantly change the numbers on the smash or pass counter, and also just like setting up like the video, like what's it called? I literally loaded up a super flat world, got every single block in Minecraft, placed it down back and forth, like, and just lined it all up, and it was so annoying because it was so tedious. This recording this video was hell, but it is what it is. And then I made a documentary, not a documentary, but just a video about like Will Smith's slap. It was at the time where people were like believing, like wondering if it was real or not real. You know, like if the slap was actually like a real event or it was staged. But obviously, this was just a conspiracy theory, and I kind of like talked about it through stage fighting principles, which I only know a little bit about stage fighting, but I ended up just like doing it when I was in university, my first university, and it because of that, like I ended up just like making this video because I thought it'd be cool just educate people and tell people like, oh, this was actually a real thing. What are the comments on this video? Oh yeah, this yeah. A lot of people were like, oh, it wasn't real and stuff like that. But yeah, and then I made a video on Toast again because I was like talking about his performance in Among Us, and he's a very good actor. He surprisingly is. Because like genuinely he knows how to separate himself and create a character. I don't know what how like if Toast is really authentically himself, but he does have a character half the time, and it's a good character. It's a great persona, which is what I also talked about in this JShlab video, because I think his persona is also very strong. He has a very good sense of motivation, sense of direction when it comes to who he is, and I think Toast also is really like he tries to be genuine as best as he can, and I think like his character shows it a lot, and I think that's what's great about being a YouTuber sometimes, because you can also put on a character if you want. But at the end of the day, when you're acting, you're still going to be like who you are as a person, right? You're not sure you're trying to put on a persona, but that persona has like an essence of yours that like makes you know, and you choose to like perform that way. Like there's no one else can like, they can try to copy you, but they'll still like make it feel like it's themselves, you know? At the end of the day, when you're putting on a persona, you want to like embody yourself and like figure out like how you as a person can what's it called, can see yourself in this person. Like you got to be a little bit empathetic, and I think learning how to act is like such a great skill to have, because then you understand, then you can be empathetic towards others. This was also like I was in the process of making this video about Myth being a great voice actor, because he was doing like voice impressions of like XQC and stuff like that, which was really funny at the time. But I never made this. I never published this. And then there was this video. I actually am very proud of this video because of the editing. I locked in on editing so hard for this video because I really wanted to work with this YouTuber named Anthony Z. He used to be one of the GTRP players that I watched a lot, and I knew he needed an editor for his YouTube channel. I managed to send it to one of his mods, and his mods ended up just not like wanting to. How do I do it? They didn't want to. They didn't want to work with me for whatever reason. So I ended up just like his mod sent it to him, but then he said he wasn't interested. And so I was like, oh man, that sucks. Because I really spent a lot of time on this video, and I'm very proud of it. But then I was so bent on like trying to make the director a real thing. But I think it was at this point like after this video kind of like gave up because like he had no grounds. There was nothing that was like relevant or trend wise. Because granted, he needed some like there needs to be a reason for people to click, and if people didn't know like what the hell was going on or like didn't understand what was going on, then like no one would like bother to click on it, which sucks. But I'm gonna try to like figure out a way to bring him back because he's like one of my favorite characters. I want you guys to see him one day. It'd be really fun. And then these are like all projects that I did for with this class I took called Still and Moving Images, which was really nice. I enjoyed it a lot. They all like were good self projects for me so that I could like express who I was. And again, I was presenting them in class, and I don't know, I was very emotional back then, and video creating content was definitely or creating videos was definitely something like that, something good for me, and I ended up just doing that. This video was a voiceover. Don't even worry about it. I think it was a voiceover that I did for a friend ages ago, and now it's just there. But yeah, and then I made like what's it called, these video essays on like I was at this time, it was like 2023. I was really into Valorant at the time. I was obsessed with Valorant because for whatever reason I watched 100 Thieves. If you know the esports organization, I used to watch 100 Thieves' content, and this was back when Sean Gares was coaching the team, and I watched one of their videos. It was really fun, and then I started following the team, and I followed them. I was watching them in 2022 go to champions, and they did bomb out, but like it was really cool to see, and I got like I felt like I had a connection with the team, and this was like when I started to really like get into esports. At the time, I was also like doing like content for uh Valorant in general, or like I wanted to do content for Valorant, but I didn't know what to do. Like I was overthinking this a lot because I wasn't good at the game, and I didn't have like a niche per se. Like because the game was so like I'd say like right now the game is in a bad spot for content. You can still become a content creator in Valorant, but it's really hard because you don't know like because there's only like two avenues. It's like you either play ranked or you make content about esports. And those are the only two things you can really do in Valorant. Unless you're like an Eggwick who does like these little challenge games and challenges, like has his like community events and stuff like that, which is really cool. I like that stuff, but it's hard. It's just genuinely hard to like make it as a Valorant creator because so many people have played the game, and the game currently is stagnating right now. But I did these videos on like reflections of like all the different Valorant creators at the time. I did one on Tarek and I did one on Willius. I donated this video again to Willius. He watched it and then forgot to finish watching the rest of the video, which sucks, but it is what it is. Then for a little bit, I worked on. I was an editor for another creator named By the Way Blue or BTW Blue. She was cool. She was very kind to me. I helped her with some of her videos where she wanted to do the series where like she would do career cafe, and it was this thing where she would stream, talk about tips on how to get jobs and stuff like that. Because I think she was a recruiter at the time, and then ended up just like what's it called? Ended up just making these videos for her. I edited a couple things for her vlogs. Like she went to Champions in LA, and I edited a couple vlogs for her. And then afterwards, I had to quit because I wanted to focus on school, which all this stuff that you see is for school. This is like another vlog for Blue that I made. This was a vlog actually for North American Challengers League in League of Legends. And so she was there, and I made I made the vlog, and I also proposed to like make a script for her, and so I did that stuff. I told her a couple lines that she could say, and afterwards, like, told her like just to like sequence it and make it make sense. You know, this video, unironically, was my first step into learning how to do storytelling, and it made me realize how necessary it was to become a storyteller. This was when like I was feeling depressed again. This was like 2023. I was trying to get back into the flow of things as well. So I wanted to get back into making content because this was something that I've wanted to do. And so I made 4 of these videos, right? And these are all commentaries of just me yapping like I'm doing right now. And these commentaries, they might not seem like a lot, and like people were genuinely kind to me throughout all this, which was awesome. I kind of felt like I was being seen for once, you know, and it was really cool. Oh, this is one of my old friends. Yeah, he comments on my videos, and but these are very significant for one specific reason. This was at the time when I watched a lot of shorts, and there was this guy named Pirate Software. If you know who he is, then you probably know how infamous he is. But he used to be just a really good shorts creator, and not just a quote unquote lol cow nowadays. Which was someone who just like ended up just like digging himself a hole when it came to becoming a content creator. And so there was this one thing that I learned from him from one of his shorts, and it was unchecking this box, publish his subscriptions feed, and notify subscribers. And so I used to do this all the time. I used to abuse it all the time, because the way this button works is that it doesn't push to your subscribers, and actually it ends up filtering it all the way out to like just the homepage and suggested. It skips your entire sub feed. Your subscribers will still see it, because if they previously watched your past content, then they're gonna like what's it called? If they watch your old content, then they're obviously gonna get your content, that the new content that you're making right now, recommended into their feed. But this would just skip the sub feed, and if none of your if no dead or inactive users were using the platform, then YouTube wouldn't make this what's it called? YouTube wouldn't not recommend your videos anymore. If that makes any sense, if you get what I mean. Like, there's a bunch of inactive subscribers on your channel, and if YouTube sends this video out to your sub feed, and it judges your video based on like how many of your subscribers click to watch this video, and some of them are inactive, then like YouTube might not push it out further to like the homepage or suggested. TLDR, this works to an extent. I've been testing it out further in my shorts currently, that I'm posting on my main channel, but right now like it's had mixed results. Like, because of it, like I've had what's it called? I've had this video pop off, which was another Valorant video essay. This was like a pretty good one, actually. It was like a one about about like a problem that I felt that everyone has in any competitive game. A lot of people have egos, and it became really good. And I think the reason why, at the time I thought it was because of me unchecking the box, right? Publish the subscriptions feed and notify subscribers. But no, it actually wasn't because of that. It was low-key because it was a good topic. It was just a really good topic. And then I kind of just had a little bit of fun. This was like a final project for like a creative coding class that I took. And then I decided to just have a little bit of fun. I was getting back into One Piece, and because I was doing Valorant content and I was getting back into One Piece, I was like, fuck it, I'll just make a video about like being who's the Monkey D. Luffy of Valorant. And I was like, I think I said Psalm was the Monkey D. Luffy of Valorant, which is really funny. And the video, I don't know if it went well. I forgot who said this. Oh yeah, some people liked it. And so I continued to like keep I made this video, but I felt like it was so confusing. It didn't do too well. But then this video, I decided to just pivot all the way from Valorant to anime because I felt like anime was more so my speed. And because Valorant content was stagnating, I just decided to move on to what's it called, to One Piece and to make anime content. And so I made these 2 video essays, and I ended up doing the same trick, which was like unchecking the publish to subscriptions feed box, and it worked for me, right? And then everyone like was commenting on this video. This is like my most viral video still to this day, actually. This video where I talked about the real reason you were hooked into One Piece. It was very good and it performed really well. A lot of people commented on how they love the essays and stuff like that, and they really enjoyed my take on everything about like how the first episode of One Piece is just like a great hook into the series and like allows you to really get emotionally involved in Luffy as a person, you know? And so I enjoy making this, and I got so ballsy that I was like, because I thought I knew everything, right? At the time, and I still get those moments where I feel like I'm on top of the world and stuff like that. And I ended up just like feeling so confident that I would critique this channel called the Anime Men. It's like a group of kids, a group of guys who just like popped off on TikTok, but they needed help with their YouTube. And so they were looking for editors, and I sent them this video, this 30-minute video of me roasting their content. And I learned now that like the way that I used to critique people or like give feedback was actually not helpful at all. These guys were okay with it, but they just didn't. But like, it got to a point where my relationships with them fractured, but I got better at it and I learned from it. And the reason why I stopped working with them was because I still had to continue with school, which was really frustrating at the time, but it was what it was. And these boys, like, they learned a lot. I hope they learned a lot from what I taught them. It was mostly about storyboarding and making sure that they're able to be authentic with their audiences and showcase some level of emotion, you know? Like, it's okay to be emotional in front of like an audience, because yes, people will call you out on that, but that's just pure projection, right? At the end of the day, this is your channel. You get to be who you want to be, and it's okay to be vulnerable in front of your audience. And I think that, like, after working for those guys, I definitely learned one, how to give better feedback. Two, just to accept the fact that like sometimes people will have like a boss decision and you have to like accept it. And three, like, overall, like how to build emotion and understand understand your audiences and what they want, really. And so after that, after working for them, I kind of went back to my own content. I would just make projects for like class and stuff like that. There were some times where I struggled to like even keep making content. I went back to YouTube video essays in 2024 in the summer, and I made these made some really silly ones. This one's a skit. I hadn't done skits in a while, but I was so compelled to make this skit about Sea-Dog VA, and it was definitely like a really fun video for me. Was it good? Did people understand it? Some people some people did, some people didn't, but there's a character in this skit that I really enjoy, and I am currently in the process of reintroducing him into my current Deadlock videos. I want to do it soon. We'll see though. But yeah, I ended up just making all these like anime video essays. I still actually cherish this Tokyo Revengers video essay, even though it didn't get that many views. I still cherish it. And ORV is great. It's a great show. If you know, not show, webtoon or manhwa. I was so compelled to make a YouTube video on Omniscient Reader's viewpoint, and it ended up doing well. A lot of people liked it. And so I kept going with this stuff, but no one really, but like it wasn't no one, it was just me, like starting to realize like if starting to wonder if like anime was the way I wanted to go. And so I ended up just like taking a break from it. After a couple months I saw that people were looking for editors. I tried to apply to AlphaRad, made a pitch video about that. I tried to apply to Stephen He, and because he was looking for editors, and so I made an entire skit of people, like, what's it called, because he was looking for skit creators, and I made an entire skit mimicking like an interview that I would have with them, which was really cool. I enjoyed this. 11 people saw it, but they never got back to me, which I don't know. What are you gonna do? These are all videos of my VR projects. I made a test video about Ember Ward. I don't know why I wanted to do that, but hey, here it is. This is also cool. I made this video, a formative video of a book report on Spelunky. I took a Unity class in school where I was like, what's it called? Where one of the projects was we had to make a book report, and I asked my professor if I could make a video instead of just doing a slideshow, and so I made the video instead, and it was great. It was a really fun video to make about Spelunky, because I rarely ever played the game, but when I tried it out, it was really fun. It was really fun. And then afterwards, once classes ended, I got back in January to make a Isaac video. This Isaac video was actually really fun too to make. This was like me like genuinely trying to beat Isaac. It took forever. I'm not kidding. It took me so long to literally win one game of Isaac. And this was at the time I was like really into Lazy Map Man. If you know who he is, he's a great. He uploads daily on his channel of him playing Isaac, and I admire his work ethic. I admire his dedication to the game and like his skill. It's something that I wish I could do with my Deadlock videos, but like I personally love just the storytelling aspect of it, of making content. So I can't really do daily stuff as often as Matt, but if you haven't heard of him, go check him out. He's a great content creator, and also try The Binding of Isaac. It's a great game. This was a video that I made for what's it called? I had this pitch video where I wanted to make a better content for esports, and I pitched it to one of the former. He was a former employee at DSG, which was Disguised Toast Esports Org, and I thought the pitch was pretty good personally, but he never got back to me on it. So there's that. And then I forgot. Oh, I know who this was. This was for another YouTuber that I made a pitch video for. They never got back to me on that either, which kind of sucked, but is what it is. And then I ended up just like, this was my final project, like my thesis project, where I made this video of people like of this interactive video where I would have these subtitles, essentially these custom made subtitles within the YouTube player, and they would be like acting as a narrator, kind of like GLaDOS from Portal, if you know that series. And people were able to like drag this little square across and like play this little game that they could do. And it was just a whole allegory or metaphor to toxic relationships and the expectations people have. I was so happy with the title of it. The title is called Subverting Expectations. I was really happy with that title because it was literally subverting subtitles, stuff like that. Yeah. You get it. It's kind of corny, but you know what I mean. And then I had a Balatro arc. I played Balatro a lot, and I streamed it, and it did it. Some of the videos did do well, but then like I realized like, is Balatro where I really want to go for videos, right? And it took a minute for me, but it wasn't until Deadlock came around, and we're finally at the Deadlock phase where I'm kind of happy that I started making content for Deadlock. I these were just like raw videos that I just made about like of me like trying the game out and stuff like that. And I got really into it. I love Deadlock so much, guys. It's not even funny. It's a great game, and I love making content for the game. I also still did pitches at the time, which I did like a pitch video for. If you know Deathy, I did a pitch video for the Bear Pit, and I told him that I could go that I can help him out, and they actually like for once someone saw my pitch videos and Deathy actually wanted to work with me. And so I did do a lot of work. Some of the stuff that you see early on, like the mid-length videos that you saw with the yellow borders, that was all me. I designed the thumbnails, and I also did all the shorts. I did all the shorts for them, and they did really well. I was pretty. This was the first. It was the first time I really dove deep into short form content, like trying to consistently upload to short form, and I started to enjoy it a lot more. So much so that I started to do short form content on Deadlock for like a week, but then I stopped because life stuff happened. And then because of that, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna do short form. I'm gonna try doing long form, and I'm bouncing back and forth right now. Like right now, I'm in my short form phase. Soon enough, I'll probably be editing a long form video at some point later today. But yeah, then I started doing this like long form series. I started doing Deadlock videos. I started doing this Deadlock challenge videos where I would have a wheel give me a random item, and it didn't do too well because I felt like there wasn't that much of a challenge. At least that's what some of the feedback that Deathy gave me said, that like, he said that like there wasn't that much of a challenge overall, which he was right. And so because of that, I started to just like get inspired, and I was like, fuck it. I love Deadlock a lot, and so much so that I kind of want to get better at the game. And so this is where you see this entire series of Deadlock videos happen. Right now, I'm currently looking at like thousands of views on a bunch of videos right now. I released a video like I want to say, oh, it was almost a week ago now. But it's so strange to me because this was probably like one of my best performing videos, right? It has like a 42% view percentage, and it has currently a 6% click-through rate, which blows my mind, right? Because 6% on average is really good. Like the average is 2%, right? And this is like 4% up, which is great, right? But it's not being pushed out at all, which is so confusing to me. And I'm like, like this video surprisingly was really good, like watch time wise. Like I wanted to aim for like you want to aim for like 50% most of the time, but I mean 42% is still really good for me, especially with how much watch time I got on these other videos. Like this video, for example, my best one, the worst Victor player I've ever seen, was like 37%, right? And it still did pretty well for a channel my size, which I'm very proud of, honestly. This video has like 300, got me 310 subscribers, which was insane at the time. I think right now, because like I was going back and forth with videos, and I was still like, I think the issue that I have, and it was something that I thought wasn't a big issue, but it is now, is like consistency. Like you really want to be consistent with the stuff that you do, and you really want to like try to like be consistent, and obviously like experiment, try as much as you can, learn whatever you can throughout the entire process of being a content creator. And you don't have to be intense about it. Like there's a saying that I learned, consistency, we want to have more consistency, not intensity. So you don't have to be working the hardest like all in one day. I just need you to be like consistent for a couple days and do a little bit of work, like batch certain stuff out, organize certain stuff out, and make sure that like you're able to take the time with this stuff and learn, and hopefully grow as a person. So yeah, that's my entire backstory on content creation. This is definitely long. This is definitely a ramble, but I felt like it was important just to release that video on the lab channel, just so that you guys have a better understanding of who I am. But yeah, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please remember to like and subscribe. And I've been Luck Deep. Stay eccentric out there. Peace.